Welcome to today's deep dive. We are jumping into some really vital source material today from the Dryer Vent Safety Council, or the DVSC. Our mission today is to answer a question that, honestly, it sounds highly counterintuitive at first glance.
This really does.
Right. The question is, can an inexpensive dryer vent cleaning actually be more expensive?
The source material draws this fundamental distinction right out of the gate. We have to separate two concepts here: cleaning and performance.
Okay. Cleaning and performance.
Right, because cleaning is a physical action. You run a brush, you operate a vacuum, you physically remove lint. Performance, on the other hand, is the outcome.
God.
The primary purpose of your dryer's exhaust system isn't just to be clean, right? Its purpose is to allow the clothes dryer to exhaust air effectively so the machine can operate the exact way it was engineered to. I mean, lint accumulation is absolutely a major reason why a dryer struggles to breathe, but it's really only one of many possible restrictions.
Really?
The clothes dryer itself doesn't know why its airflow is restricted. It only experiences the physical resistance. And the manufacturer, Whirlpool, explicitly notes this in their guidance. They point out that conditions like excessive vent length, too many elbows, or obstructed exterior terminations, those contribute to poor performance just as much as a standard lint clog does.
Wow.
Exactly, which is why a technician's most valuable tool isn't necessarily their brushes or rods or vacuums. Their most valuable tool is their invisible knowledge. If a technician lacks that knowledge, they might successfully remove the lint and walk away, leaving you with a dryer that still takes forever to dry clothes. The duct is technically cleaner, but the performance problem is still right there.
There's actually a quote from the source material that really grounds this idea. It's from Cliff Budnick. He's the president of Innovate Technologies and a co-founder of the Dryer Vent Safety Council. Yeah, he says, proper dryer exhaust performance often involves more than just lint removal. The entire exhaust system should promote unrestricted airflow, using code-compliant materials from the transition duct through every turn to the exterior termination.
And that perfectly bridges the gap between the action of cleaning and the outcome of performance. It really highlights the difference between just removing debris and actually understanding the system. So a knowledgeable technician understands how all these components, the rigid metal transition, the smooth internal routing, the unscreened termination, how they all work together.
Right. But what about the origin point, the actual dryer itself? Like, if a professional is hired for a vent cleaning, does the appliance just get ignored?
Well, the appliance certainly shouldn't disappear from consideration just because of the job title. I mean, lint doesn't magically wait until it hits the wall to start accumulating. It accumulates inside the chassis of the clothes dryer itself, deep past that little lint screen you clean out after every load. The CPSC has documented this interior lint accumulation extensively, and they highly recommend periodic cleaning of the dryer interior.
So a good exhaust technician is going to open up the dryer chassis and clean the motor and heating element areas. So we've outlined the hazards. We know what a system should look like. But if a lot of this is hidden behind drywall, how does a professional actually prove to you that their work solved the problem?
Well, that brings us to the absolute necessity of objective measurement, specifically before and after airflow testing.
Right.
You really have to move away from assumption and move toward objective diagnosis. The principle is straightforward. Measure the airflow before you start, perform the necessary work, and then measure the airflow afterward to verify the outcome.
You need tools to measure the static pressure or the velocity of the air.
Yes, absolutely. The specific testing methods and the instruments they use can vary depending on the circumstances or the specific equipment being used and manufacturer requirements. But the core concept of objective measurement remains exactly the same.
Right.
Let's actually look at two hypothetical exhaust systems from the source material to illustrate why this is so critical.
Okay, lay it on me.
Imagine system one. It has a massive amount of lint buildup inside the duct, but the structural bones of the system are excellent. It uses proper rigid metal, follows a short, straight route to the outside, and terminates properly.
Okay, good bones.
Now imagine system two. It has almost no lint in it at all, but the transition duct behind the dryer is totally crushed flat, and the termination outside is highly restrictive and completely jammed shut.
Okay, so if a technician is only measuring success by the size of the lint pile they leave on your floor, they're going to completely misdiagnose system two.
Exactly. System 1 will respond beautifully to a standard cleaning. The technician removes the heavy lint, the airflow is restored, and the objective post-service measurement proves it.
Boom, done.
But if a technician treats System 2 the exact same way, they run a brush through, they don't find much lint, and they pack up their truck, they have completely failed to solve the problem.
Because the duct is still crushed.
Right. If they actually perform a post-service airflow test on System 2, the instrument will show that the performance is still terrible. That objective measurement is the technician's cue to investigate further.
So testing shifts the entire focus from did we clean it to is it actually performing?
Yes.
And understanding this difference is super crucial for the consumers footing the bill. Because when performance fails, the costs go way beyond just paying a service fee for a cleaning. The ripple effects are significant.
Oh, they are. And the most noticeable symptom for our homeowner is the drying time. You find yourself running the same load of jeans for 2 or 3 full cycles.
The worst.
From an energy standpoint, Energy Star and appliance manufacturers clearly connect poor venting to increased energy usage. You are basically paying significantly more on your utility bill to accomplish the exact same amount of laundry.
And it isn't just the electric or gas bill taking a hit either. I mean, if a machine is running 3 times as long as it was designed to, you are putting incredible, completely unnecessary wear and tear on the drum rollers, the drive motor, the blower wheel, and the heating system.
Yes, manufacturer guidance explicitly recognizes that improper vent configurations contribute to reduced dryer life. And you are also subjecting your wardrobe to unnecessary prolonged heat and tumbling, which degrades the fabric of your clothes much faster.
Nobody wants that.
No. Now, it is important to include a qualifier here, though. Not every single slow-drying load of laundry means your exhaust system is failing.
Right.
But when the exhaust system is the culprit, the physical toll on the home is real. And there is one more hazard mentioned in the source material that is particularly concerning, and it has to do with moisture management.
Because the physics of a dryer rely on phase change. You're using heat to turn liquid water in the wet clothes into water vapor. And that vapor has to go somewhere.
Yes.
So if you have a disconnected duct inside a wall cavity, you aren't just dealing with lint. You're actively injecting hot, wet air straight into your home's framing.
Exactly. Depending on the surrounding environmental conditions, venting that heavily moisture-laden air directly into a laundry room, or worse, a concealed wall cavity, it creates the absolute perfect environment for condensation. And that leads directly to mold, mildew, and structural rot. Identifying and repairing a disconnected duct is vastly more consequential to your home's integrity and safety than just sweeping out some lint.
Man, that reframes the entire concept of the service. Paying a professional to properly diagnose and fix a crushed or disconnected duct isn't just about getting your Sunday chores done faster. It's about saving money on utilities month after month, extending the life of your appliance, saving your clothes, and potentially stopping a major mold remediation problem inside your walls.
Which is exactly why consumers need to change how they approach hiring a professional in the first place.
Right, because if the stakes are this high, then simply opening up a search engine and calling around to ask, hey, how much do you charge to clean a dryer vent? That is a massive gamble. You are making price the sole basis for comparison.
And as we've established, you might not actually need a cleaning. You are trying to solve a performance problem. The price tag alone tells you absolutely nothing about whether that company has the knowledge to figure out why your dryer takes 2 hours to run.
So instead of just asking how much, your strategy when calling companies should be to ask a very specific set of diagnostic questions.
Yes.
You should ask, quote, what will you inspect, what will you clean, and how will you know whether my dryer exhaust system is performing properly when you're finished?
Those questions are powerful because they immediately separate a basic sweep-and-go service from a comprehensive performance evaluation. It really forces the conversation toward objective testing and system knowledge.
Right.
It allows truly knowledgeable technicians to compete on the actual quality, completeness, and value of their work rather than just racing to the bottom on a price sheet.
Exactly.
Actually, there is an observation in the source material from the late Jim Bowie that illustrates this perfectly. He was a 15-year veteran of the dryer vent industry from Tarboro, North Carolina, and based on his time in the field, he noted, quote, I follow behind and repair a lot of $79 dryer vent cleaning jobs.
And to be clear, in the context of the DVSC, this isn't about bashing inexpensive service providers or claiming that a cheap price automatically means bad service.
No, not at all. Jim's observation beautifully illustrates the distinction between price and value. The consumer in Jim's scenario didn't just pay less for the exact same service, they purchased a completely different scope of service.
Right.
They paid $79 for someone to perform the action of removing lint. But because the root cause of their slow dryer was actually a crushed duct or a terrible wall configuration, the performance problem wasn't solved.
So that consumer then had to hire Jim to come out, properly diagnose the system architecture, and repair the actual issue. So when you hire someone, what are you actually purchasing? Are you purchasing the largest pile of removed lint for the lowest possible price? Or are you purchasing the assurance that your dryer and exhaust system operate properly? Because those are two very different transactions.
And that is the core position of the Dryer Vent Safety Council. They strongly recommend evaluating the service based on the quality and the comprehensive scope of the work performed, not just looking at the price tag. A knowledgeable technician brings an understanding of airflow, building codes, proper materials, and objective testing.
Right.
They bring far more value to your home than just a vacuum and a brush.
So what does this mean for you, the homeowner, or the professional listening today?
It requires a shift in perspective. When you focus on the outcome, the actual performance of the system, and you factor in the total compounding cost of poor performance on your energy bills and appliances, you realize something fundamental. In some cases, the more expensive service call is less expensive.
It completely flips the script on how we evaluate home maintenance. Catch you on the next deep dive.